The next item on the agenda is item 1 through 3. 580 North Miami LLC. John Dorville is the officer on all three cases. The first case I'm going to call is MHVIO 2018-01335.
That's items 1, 2, 3.
Correct.
580 Northeast, 127th Street. Sir, please state your full name for the record.
Simon Liu, 580 Northeast 127th Street.
Spell your last name.
Liu, L-U-E.
What is your relationship to the property?
Property manager.
And the property owner is 580 North Miami LLC?
That's correct.
I'm showing the managers of the LLC as David Halabu and Samuel Soriano.
They are the owners.
They're the owners of the property?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you understand why you're here on this particular matter this evening?
No.
Wait, so who, Judge Emmons, who is he then?
You are the property manager?
That's correct.
Okay. You're not the manager for the LLC that owns the property, though?
I don't understand your question.
Okay. The owner of the property is 580 North Miami Avenue, LLC.
North Miami LLC, that's
I'm
correct.
sorry, North Miami LLC.
That's correct, sir.
According to Sunbiz, Florida Secretary of State's office, the managers of that corporation are David Halabu and Samuel Soriano.
They are the property owners.
Okay. And you manage the property for them?
That's correct.
Okay.
There is a management agreement in place, and I represent the
Okay.
management.
I understand. Okay. I'm clear. City, will you proceed?
John Dorville, City North Miami Code Compliance Office. These cases actually haven't been previously adjudicated. I have been working with the property manager in reference to closing some of these issues. These are remaining issues on the property.
What kind of property is this?
This is a commercial property. This is a residential commercial property. I mean, I'm
rental?
sorry. This is a rental property. Yes, it's an apartment. They have active tenants. It's been previously, all three cases have been previously adjudicated. MHVIO 2018-01335, referencing that actual is about screening on the property.
That's
and
Unit 29.
that is correct.
Okay.
I spoke with the tenant of that particular unit, and all the screens have not been placed in that property. Hence, I failed that particular case.
So it's more than one unit.
Well, yeah, obviously, I mean, I don't know the property, how many units are in it? Roughly 30, 35 units? Is that correct?
Are you asking me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I apologize. There are 30 total units in the
30
building.
total units.
Okay. So what's with the windows in Unit 29? Why has that not been fixed?
May I ask him a question first?
Ask me and I'll...
Oh,
Yeah.
the question is, when did he talk to the tenant?
Okay. Yeah, that's a fair question.
Roughly last week, Friday.
Okay. Have you fixed it since?
Yes, sir. I did call Mr. John Dorville earlier, left him a voicemail around 10 o'clock this morning to speak to him. I didn't get a call back till almost 5 o'clock to find out I needed to be here today. When I did call this morning, I wanted to talk to him about closing out the rest of these violations that have all been corrected. It did take us a little time, but I know Mr. John Dorville was busy, or I don't know what he was doing, but
Well, why did you wait until today to give him a call?
at this one I found out that all the violations had been corrected.
He had until March 27th.
Mr. John
Yes.
Dorville has been to the property before within the last 2 weeks. So I
Okay.
did call him out on Monday, the 25th. I believe that was the correct date, sir? That you were out at the property and we checked out a few of these violations? The violations, other violations did fail at the time, so I told Mr. John Dorville I'd be contacting him back again.
All right. We're going to talk about the other violations in a moment.
Sure.
I'm just
Apologize.
interested in first determining whether the violation is still open in existence on the window, on the
The screens have been all been placed in since Mr. John Dorville has spoken to the tenant.
Okay. So how do we verify that tonight?
We can go to the property if you wish.
What is your recommendation, Mr. Dorville?
I mean, at this point, obviously, if they've installed the screens, we'll table, and if I'll do
Yeah,
my reinspection.
obviously, you know, these proceedings are under oath. I take it that what you just told me is accurate.
Yes, sir.
So it's just a matter of confirming that the violation no longer exists and that you're in compliance.
That's correct.
Because you were running a daily fine of $350 on each violation, which I may or may not ratify depending upon whether the violations have been cured. So you say table it for until the next meeting
Table it for 30 days, give it
on
the
all,
opportunity.
on all three?
Well, I don't know if I haven't spoken to him about the other two cases.
Okay,
so-
let's talk about the other two cases. Why don't you tell me what the violation is?
Sure. MHVIO 2018-01338. That is in reference to cracked glass throughout the apartment, various glasses, windows having cracked glass in them. They have repaired majority of them. I did make my final inspection on the 15th. There was one existing window that had a crack in it.
And what do you say to that?
The one he's last referring to, I don't think has been fixed yet, but the other two that had the boards over the windows have been fixed.
Want to table it and see where they're at, or you want
Well,
to
he said
adjudicate?
it's been adjudicated, so you have to ratify the fines because he hasn't done it it hasn't been done, and he's stating here on the record.
Do
that
you
he
have a
completed.
photograph that
Yes, I do.
will show me what the nature of the violation is?
Absolutely.
Yes, please let me see it.
Show to the-
Show it to him first.
Judge, the thing is that he's already been found in violation. He just
Got it.
admitted in open court that
Yes,
that he hasn't fixed the issue, so
I
the
get it.
fines, should be going.
okay, so where are the cracks? Broken, cracked glass for the windows.
Right.
Oh, there's a little something down here at the bottom?
There's a crack in that glass, and it's frayed, so
I get it. Okay. And that's for that one unit?
well, that's actually for the main. I wrote a citation for the entire building because there were several at the time of my initial inspection. This is my final inspection on March the 15th, and there was one remaining, so I did not close out that case.
Okay, so, about how many? How many, windows?
Windows in total?
Yeah.
There was between 6 to 8, I believe.
And as of your last inspection, they still showed some cracks?
No, that was the only one that was remaining of my last inspection.
This one?
Yes.
And the other ones were fixed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is your recommendation, that I ratify the fines imposed by the prior magistrate?
Yes, sir.
Is that what the city is seeking?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Based on the testimony of the city's code enforcement officer, the photograph that I have just seen, the evidence presented noting that there has been a prior adjudication and an abatement date of March 27th as to this particular violation, I find in favor of the city, and I hereby ratify the fines accrued to date from March 27th until compliance, in the amount of $250 per day, assess costs, and authorize the filing of a lien.
Judge, it was $350, the fine.
I'm sorry, you're right, $350, correct. That's the second violation. The third violation, can we hear that now?
Yes, sir. MHVIO 2018-0134. That is for the crack in the concrete steps. As of my photo taken March 15th, once again, they were in the process of having this particular issue addressed, but was not complete.
May I see a photograph?
Yes, sir.
Concrete steps. Is that your property?
Yes, sir.
Property you manage?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that condition still?
No, that issue has been resolved.
This issue has been resolved?
Yes.
How so?
The crack was removed and new concrete was put back in
When was it resolved?
within the last week.
So we'll do the same ruling as we did with the first one. The code officer will do another inspection to determine whether there is compliance. If there's not compliance, I want the case back before a special magistrate for ratification of the fines.
May 1st.
May 1st. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Anything further?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you. Next case. The reinterpreters can go home, have a nice meal, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. Good job.
The next item on the agenda is item number 4, Ahmed Alfiki, Ernest Baptiste is the officer, case number CEJNK 2018-00222, item number 4.
Anybody here on that?
Nope.
No appearance for the owner? May I hear from the city?
Ernest Baptiste, City North Miami Code Enforcement Officer. This is a case that was open for junk on the property. I had took picture on March 12 depicting a pile of old tire, car body parts in the rear alleyway of the building. Posted the property on March 12, 2019. Violation was open. Violation was open,
November 25?
yes. And I'm submitting the picture.
Please, let me see it. It's a picture of the property in question?
It was previously adjudicated, so if the violation is still there, Judge, you just have to let
Yeah.
the fines run.
Mm-hmm. Looking at a picture depicting some old tires and junk, to put it plainly, at the property in question. Admitted into evidence. Anything else? Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photograph that I've just received, and the evidence presented that the property is still out of compliance since March 27th, I find in favor of the city and ratify the fines accrued to date in the amount of $200 per day, assess costs in favor of the city, and authorize the filing of a lien against the property. Anybody else? No more cases?
The next item is item
We got
number
more?
6.
Oh, good.
We have about 21 more
And here I
cases.
thought that we were gonna go home early.
No, we have like 21 more.
No. Okay. We'll
Next.
move them right along.
Next item is item 6, Andre Knowles, Ernest Baptiste is the officer, case number CERCV 2018-00149, item 6.
Ernest Baptiste, City North Miami Code Enforcement Officer. This is a case that was open again for RV park at the property. Case was heard before. Abatement date was set for January 30th, 2019. Posted the property on March 12, 2019. Took picture the same day. Violation still exists.
May I see the picture? Pictures dated March 12th, 2 photographs. What's the property address again?
1600 Northwest.
got it.
122.
So I see a recreational, is it a recreational vehicle?
Yes, it's a motorhome. yeah.
Trailer?
Yes.
Okay. Behind the white fence. And your last inspection was March
12.
12th?
Yes.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs in evidence, and noting that the property has been out of compliance since the abatement date of 1/30, is it? January 30?
Correct.
I find in favor of the city, hereby ratify the fines accrued to date in the amount of $350 per day, assess costs, and authorize the filing of a lien. Next case.
The next two items are 8 and 9. Claudette Joseph, Jose Perez is the officer on both cases. Case number CEGMP 2018-00447 and CEGMP 2018-00448.
Let's hear 00447 first.
City of North Miami Code Enforcement Officer Perez. Today we're hearing the case in reference to the property at 12655 Northwest 4th Avenue. This is in reference to the general maintenance of the properties. To be specific, the exterior of the property, the awnings need to be either pressure washed or painted. The property was posted on March 14th at 3:52 p.m. It was also sent certified mail. As of March 27th, 2019, 11:07 a.m., the property has not complied. There are photographs if you wish to see them.
Yes, please. Two photographs dated March 27th, 2019. Anything further?
For this case, no.
Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and evidence presented depicting that the cited conditions still exist and that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set an abatement date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there will be a daily fine of $300 until the violation is abated.
For the second case, and ending in 448, this is also in reference to the general maintenance of properties. This is in reference specifically to the exterior of the rest of the property that needs to be painted and in good repair. The property was sent certified mail. It was also posted on March 14, 2019 at 3:52 p.m. And I have photographs for that as well.
And service was achieved by what method?
Posting as stated on 3/14th at 3:52 p.m. and was also sent certified mail.
To the address.
Correct.
Okay. I admit the photographs dated March 27th of the subject property. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and the evidence presented depicting that the cited conditions still exist and that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set an abatement date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there will be a daily fine of $300 until the violation is abated.
The next item on the agenda is item 13, Denise Detchen. Wayne Clark is the officer, and the case number CEGMP 2018-00462, item 13.
Wayne Clark City, North Miami Code Compliance. The property was cited for general maintenance of the property. The window awnings, they were asked to pressure wash them and paint them. And the fascia board also was chipped also. I did talk to the tenant probably about 6 weeks ago, and he told me that the owner said she's not going to do anything. She can do what she want to do to her house. So that's about the size of it, and that's why it's still the same. Actually, she told that was relayed to me through the tenant, and I have never talked to the owner of the property. I like to submit the photos for the record depicting such.
Please.
Sorry, the property had proper service of posting March 12th, 2019.
Okay, you say there was a tenant that you spoke with, or you spoke to the owner?
Never, I don't even know, no, never spoke to the owner, tenant only, and that was relayed to me. He told the owner what needed to be done, and she told him she's not gonna do anything. It's her house, she do what she wanna do.
Okay.
So, that's it.
Well, maybe we can send her a message and encourage her to do the right thing. So, based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and evidence presented depicting that the cited conditions still exist and that proper notice has been given, and I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set an abatement date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there will be a daily fine of $1,000 until the violation is abated.
Thank you, sir.
The next item on the agenda is item 40, Ramon Gonzalez, Wayne Clark is the officer. Case number CEGMP 2018-00440, item number 40.
Wayne Clark City, North Miami Code Compliance. The property had a general maintenance violation, same thing, window awnings, displays black mold, and they were actually asked, I think I have it here, yeah, give me a sec. It's somewhere here, in here. They were actually asked, remove dirt, mildew from window awnings, and it hasn't been removed.
Is it a
the case
resident-
has already been adjudicated.
Residential property?
Yes, the case has already been adjudicated, but however, the property was posted on March 12th, 2019 also. I'd like to resubmit the photos for the record.
Yes, please.
What I call quick fixes, you know?
Is there someone living there?
I reckon it is because when the first time when they got the notification of the hearing, after the notice of the hearing, I guess the order to comply, when I posted it, I came back thereafter and I think, is there pictures right there? Seen the awnings were placed in a down position as if they were getting ready to.
Are these the pictures?
Those some of the pictures. I have some more
Okay.
pictures here. What's the date of those pictures? March?
March 12th.
Okay, that's the day that I did the posting. But there should be pictures prior to that. Here we go. For the initial first hearing. So, even there in February, they looked like they were trying to make an attempt to start correcting the problem. However, it's still the same. And I have got no call from the owner, tenant, or whoever's responsible for the property to date.
And we're dealing with just the awnings.
Just the awnings.
Okay. I'm not an expert on mold, but it sure looks like it.
Yeah, that's why I just say, hey, they could just, easily just remove it, pressure wash it. And like I say, I consider it quick fixes, and they just ignore it. They didn't contact nothing.
All right. So based on the unrebutted testimony presented by the city's code compliance officer, the photographs,
Plans go forward.
this is an adjudication, right?
Yes,
Ratification.
I'm going to.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, ratification at
Let me
250.
see.
Ratification.
So let the fines run?
All right. Based on the testimony of the city's code enforcement officer, the photographs and other evidence presented, that the property has been out of compliance since the abatement date of March 27th, I find in favor of the city and hereby ratify the fines that have been accrued to date in the amount of $250. Assess costs in favor of the city and authorize the filing of a lien.
Thank you, sir.
The next item is item 14, EGR Investments Incorporated. John Dorville is the officer. Case number CENUS 2018-02574, item 14.
Good evening, John Dorville, the City of North Miami Code Compliance Office. This case is in reference to a property 14420 Northeast 6th Avenue. This is an empty lot in the city. It abuts a duplex. I believe through the last hurricane, the tree on the empty lots property fell into the property owner's, the abutting property owner's property. I've sent several notices. This is actually a ratification, I believe. This has been seen already. I will submit my pictures as of March the 15th when it was posted at 3:18 p.m. The picture depicts a large tree that is on the fence on both sides of basically the property. One side of the property, the actual property owner, the 14420 Northeast, and then the abutting property owner still lying across their property.
Is this a residential property?
The tree comes from the empty lot and it's lying on a duplex, which is occupied on
Is-
their property line.
Okay.
The property owner of the duplex has made some attempts to clean up their property by cutting some of the tree, so it's not as bad as it was before, but it's still an obvious blight and nuisance on the property owner.
And service was achieved by what?
Posting the property 3/15/19 at 3:18 p.m.
Okay. I looked in Sunbiz and found that this corporation is not active. And it's showing a registered agent by the name of Evilio Garcia. Is that who you spoke with?
I haven't spoken with anyone concerning this property. I
Okay.
posted, obviously it's an empty lot, I posted the empty lot, and we provided, and it was also sent certified mail to the registered, to the person on the property appraiser page, which is the corporation EGR Investment, Inc.
Okay, at what address?
The address is 501 Southwest 39th Avenue, Miami, Florida, 33134.
Okay, that's not the address that I have on Sunbiz for EGR Investments, Inc. The address that I have is 3028 Northwest 13th Street, Miami. Same address for the registered agent and for the mailing address. I'm gonna ratify the fines, but you may need to go an extra step in order to notify whoever it is that actually owns the property. This corporation is not even active. So,
Yes, sir.
let me first ratify the fine, and then I'll share with you the information that I have. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and other evidence presented that the property has been out of compliance since March 27th. I find in favor of the city and hereby ratify the fines accrued to date in the amount of $350 per day and assess costs in favor of the city. Authorize the filing of a lien.
The next two items on the
Here.
agenda are 15
Here.
and 16 for Ecoland Group.
Oh, this is what I wanted to share with you. Yeah, sure, you can have it. Go ahead.
Item 15 and 16 for Ecoland Group. John Dorville is the officer. The first case is CEFAW 2018-00364. Item 15.
John Dorval, City of North Miami Code Compliance Office. Actually, both cases are fairly similar. It's for the same issue. These lots are owned by the same company. I've sent violations. These two violations are a reference to the fencing. I'll enter the photos as evidence.
Why don't you roll the second violation into the first violation since they deal with the same thing?
Same thing, but it's literally, they're sister properties.
Oh, okay.
They're sitting right next to each other. 530, the first photo's for 530, the second photo for 540. Same issue, same property owner. They have fencing and two empty lots. Previously, the city I have cited them for cutting the lots and had to institute a work order because there was no response from the property owner.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and evidence presented depicting that the cited conditions still exist, and that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there will be a daily fine of $250 until the violation is abated.
Thank you.
Let's deal with the second one.
Second property. It would be covering.
Oh,
would
this
be
one has a different address, 540.
540 is the.
Okay.
Right, so this one is CEFAW 2018-00365.
Yes.
That address is 540. The first one was 530.
Okay.
Okay? So it's, property was posted 3/15/19 at 3:07 p.m. It's in referencing empty lot with a fence that is damaged. It is actually fairly damaged and has access, to the property. Photos have been entered in evidence. So the city's looking for an adjudication.
Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs that I've reviewed and the evidence presented depicting that the cited conditions still exist and that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there will be a daily fine of $250 until the violation is abated.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is item 19, Frenu Simeon. Karen Jean Lewis is the officer, and the case number is CEWWC 2018-00120, item 19.
Good evening, Code Compliance Officer Karen Jean Lewis. This property was cited to repair the roof. There's currently a blue tarp on the roof. Hold on one second. Huh? Yeah. That's why I was pulling this out. This case was previously adjudicated, and they had until February 27, 2019 to abate the violation.
At $350 a day.
Yes.
Okay. You have pictures?
Yes.
May I see them?
That's for Dorville.
Five photographs taken on March 13th of the property. Admitted. Thank you very much. Anything else?
No.
Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's, this is a ratification you're asking for, right? Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and other evidence presented that the property has been out of compliance since February 27th, 2019. I find in favor of the city and hereby ratify the fines accrued to date running from February 27th and assess costs in favor of the city, authorize the filing of a lien against the property.
The next item on the agenda is item number 20, Jethro Dorcius. Karen Jean Lewis is the officer, and the case number is CEOSV 2019-00004, item 20.
Good evening, Code Compliance Officer Karen Jean Lewis. This property was cited for an oversized vehicle. Notice to appear was posted on March 19, 2019 at 9:35 a.m. I spoke to Mr. Dorcius one morning when I observed the vehicle at the property, and I explained to him the ordinance. The type of vehicle that he had parked is not permitted unless it's actively loading or unloading. And despite being educated on the ordinance, he continues to park the vehicle in front of his house. And as of the last reinspection, the final reinspection, there's been no change.
Is this one of those vehicles that may require a variance or?
No, it's one of those box trucks.
Okay, so
Yeah.
no variance for that.
No.
Okay. May I see the picture?
Yes. The third picture was from around the time when I observed the violation. I went to the property and the truck was still there after speaking to Mr. Dorcius.
Which picture is that? Is that the
The
one?
one December 2018, that should be the very old one. The most recent one is
Okay,
dated March.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have three photographs. One dated December 26, 2018, and then three photographs dated, no, one photograph dated 3/8/19 and two dated 3/13. This looks like a commercial vehicle and prohibited by city code. Again, the property is at 965 Northwest 132nd Street.
That is correct.
Okay, no prior adjudications.
No.
Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and evidence presented depicting that the cited conditions still exist, and that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city enter an adjudication and set a compliance or abatement date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there will be a daily fine of $500 until the violation is abated.
The next item on the agenda is item 24, Jose Baca. Ernst Baptiste is the officer in the case number CEIVY 2018-00439, item 24.
Let me hear from the city.
Ernst Baptist, City of Miami Code Enforcement Officer. This is a case that was open for inoperable vehicle, white truck parked up front. Case was heard before. Posted the property on March 12, 2019. I took picture. The truck still in the same condition. I'm submitting the picture.
Please, let me see it. Thank you. 8 photographs. March 12th, 2019. Property address again? 1030 Northeast 141st. Previously adjudicated. Okay. You're asking me to ratify the fine.
Correct.
Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and other evidence reviewed showing that the property has been out of compliance since March 27th, 2019, I find in favor of the city and hereby ratify the fines accrued to date, running at in the amount of $300 per day, and assess costs and authorize the filing of a lien.
The next item is item 29, Manuel Espinoza. John Dorville is the officer. The case number CERCV 2019-00007, item 29.
John Dorville, City of North Miami Code Compliance Office. This case is in reference, once again, to 430 Northeast 131st Street. This is for a recreational vehicle that is on a trailer. I will submit the pictures into evidence.
Sorry.
Thank you.
The picture I've submitted is one photo. It's some sort of, looks like a travel trailer. Looks like, for that landscapers use. Container on wheels. I have had no contact with the property owner. I have posted I posted the property on 3/15, 2019 at 2:13 p.m. And it was also sent certified mail. To date, I've had no contact with the owner once again, and it has not been, the RCV has not been removed.
Driveway doesn't look that great either.
It is not, no. Well, you can have gravel driveways in the city currently.
Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and evidence presented depicting that the cited violation still exists, the proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there will be a daily fine of $250 until the violation is abated.
The next item is item 34. Michael Alexandre. Ernest Baptiste is the officer. The case number CEJ&K 2018-00218. Item 34.
Ernest Baptiste, City of Miami Code Enforcement Officer. This is a case that was open for drunk on property. Case was heard before. Posted the property on March 12, 2019. Took picture of item leading on the side of property, junk item. Submitting picture
May I
for
see it?
evidence.
Thank you very much. The junk is in the rear of the property, correct?
Yeah, on the side.
On the side of the property, okay. I see two garbage dumpsters, or what else is back there?
Old furniture pieces, file cabinet.
I see a screen on the side of the house. some
Yes.
Wooden boxes.
Ye-
Admitted, based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and other evidence presented, that the property has been out of compliance since March 27th. I find in favor of the city and hereby ratify the fines accrued to date in the amount of $150 per day, and assess costs in favor of the city, authorize the filing of a lien.
The next item is item 35. Michelle Solis. John Dorville is the officer. The case number CEPFY 2018-00733. Item 35.
Court Officer John Dorval, City of North Miami Code Compliance Office. This property has been cited for parking a vehicle on their front lawn. The property was posted 3/15/2019 at 2:56 p.m. To date, I've had no contact with the property owner. I do not have the picture in this particular file, however, I do have it on file at the office in reference to the PFY.
Is this a continuing occurrence, or how often do you see the vehicle parked in the front yard?
I mean, typically on most cases, we'll visit a property more than 3-4 times. So this one is probably in that range. I've probably been to this property 3 to 4 times. I'm always looking to close out cases, so I've probably I've probably been to the property about 3 or 4 times, as stated on my, on my daily log.
Okay. And the vehicle is owned by the property owner?
That's the assumption. I can't
Okay.
really say per se because I've
Yeah,
never had
it's
any
just,
contact.
it's just for my education going
Absolutely.
forward. If it's a one-time event and then they no longer do it, do you cite them?
No, I mean, I'm always in deference to the resident. I'm giving them an opportunity. I'm here to educate. I'm here to provide information. And obviously, there's issues if it's raining and people happen to be parking on their front lawn. I certainly don't cite them, but if it's a continual thing, as I drive through certain neighborhoods, I cite them based on, you know, the rapidity of this one particular action.
Okay, that clears it up.
Yes, sir.
I don't like to hit somebody who just inadvertently happens to park the car one day and then the next day it's removed.
That's
So,
not my practice.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Did you show me a picture?
I did not. I neglected to have it in the file. I do have it in the system. If you want to table it until you have pictures, or you want to.
No, I take your word.
Okay.
Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, and the evidence presented to me confirming that the cited violations still exist, that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there will be a daily fine of $250 until the violation is abated.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The next item is item 36, Minerve Michelle. John Dorville is the officer. The case number is CENBR 2019-00002, item 36.
John Dorval, City of North Miami Code Compliance. This is a simple case of numbers being painted the same color as the property. I have posted the property several times. My posting for this hearing was 3/15/19 at 10:44 a.m. I will submit the picture
Please.
in evidence.
What is so difficult about painting an address on your property? You would think that people would want that so that someone that's visiting can find it a lot easier.
Absolutely, emergency services.
Sure, especially them. Okay, based on the unrebutted, I admit the photograph into evidence. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and evidence presented, depicting that the cited conditions still exist and that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there will be a daily fine of $250 until the violation is abated.
Thank you.
The next item is item 39, Prestige Cornerstone LLC. John Dorville is the officer. The case is CEMHS 2018-00038, item 39.
John Dorval, City of North Miami Code Compliance Office. This is a commercial apartment building which has tenants in it, and this has actually been a long-standing case. I have several pictures, well, 2 pictures here. This is actually this has been open quite a while. I'm just looking for my initial. It was originally cited on December 14th, 2018. At the time, there was, this building is actually going through a renovation, and they've gotten rid of most of the tenants. Currently, it's probably about less than 10% occupied. However, the issue from December the 14th still exists. And I'll submit the pictures. This is 2 pictures of, one of the first pictures is February the 12th. It is standing water in the hallway. And then my final picture will be this March the 15th of 2019, with still showing the same issue.
So we're just ratifying the fines. I remember this one.
So this is also just a ratification of the fines. And this property was posted 3/15/19 at 4:07 p.m.
Photographs are admitted. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and other evidence presented that the property has been out of compliance since March 27th, 2019, I find in favor of the city and hereby ratify the fines accrued to date in the amount of $350 per day and assess costs against the city and authorize the filing of a lien.
The next case is item 41, Ramon Tabora. John Dorville is the officer. The case number is CENBR 2019-00004, item 41.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. John Dorval, City of North Miami Code Compliance Office. This is a case for property 1130 Northeast 144th Street. Once again, it's a simple matter of painting the numbers on the property, different color than the actual paint. I'll submit the pictures and evidence.
Admitted.
This property was posted on 3/15/19 at 9:58 a.m. I've had no contact with the property owner.
Anything else? Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and evidence presented depicting that the cited conditions still exist, and that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there will be a daily fine of $250 until the violation is abated.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is 42 Regina Vlasic. Ernest Baptiste is the officer. The case number is CERCV 2018-00246 is item 42.
Ernest Baptiste, City North Miami Code Enforcement Officer. This is a case that was open for boat park at the property. Property was posted on March 13, 2019, at which date I took picture, and boat still in place, submitting for the record.
Please. Thank you. Picture dated March 13th, 2019, reflecting 2 boats.
Yes.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and evidence presented depicting that the cited violations still exist and that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there will be a daily fine of $250 until the violation is abated.
The last 2 violations on the agenda are for Seymour Janvier. Jose Perez is the officer. Is case number 46 and 47. The first case is CEFAW 2019-00004, item 46.
Violation for fencing.
Yes. One second. City of North Miami Code Enforcement Officer Perez. Today we're hearing the case in reference to the property at 12625 Northwest 2nd Avenue. This is in reference to maintenance of fences, walls, and hedges. Specifically, the fence in the front of the property that needs to be painted wherever there is chipping on the fence. The violation was opened on January 4th, 2019. The property was posted on March 14, 2019 at 3:33 p.m. and it was also sent certified mail. As of March 27th, compliance has not been met, and I have photographs for the evidence.
Please, let me see that. Two photographs admitted March 27, 2019. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and evidence presented depicting that the cited violations still exist and that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there'll be a daily fine of $250 until the violation is abated.
The next case is CESOD 2019-00002, same owner and property.
City of North Miami Code Enforcement Officer Perez. Today we're hearing the case in reference to the property at 12625 Northwest 2nd Avenue in reference to the landscaping, in specific the sodding in front of this property in the swell area that has been damaged due to excessive parking. The violation was opened on January 4th, 2019. As of March 27, 2019, the violation has not been abated. The property was sent certified mail and was also posted on March 14, 2019 at 3:33 p.m. I have photographs for evidence.
What are they supposed to do? Just put grass or gravel, or how do you deal with this violation?
So, for the most part, they're required to have grass. I know in the past the city has accepted gravel, but I'm not sure if at this time they're accepting gravel. But
Okay.
yes, we're looking for grass.
All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and evidence presented depicting that the cited violations still exist, and that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there will be a daily fine of $250 until the violation is abated.
And those are all the items on the agenda.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're adjourned.